Thanks, Michael. Guys, appreciate your time today. Thanks for doing this. A question for each of you, Sean. How much confidence did you guys get as a group from the way you were able to come back in that match the other night? How does that help through the rest of the group stage? And for Gianluca, just curious how you see the match against St. Kitts and Nevis playing out. How much you expect to be involved in that one? Thanks again, guys.
Yeah, thanks for the question. I think as a group, I think our focus is taking it one game at a time and really focusing on building as we go through the competition and making sure that every game we're getting better. So for us, obviously Jamaica was a good test, and going down, we showed resilience to fight and claw back into the game, get the game tying goal and even pressing for a late winner. So all those experiences are invaluable, especially in group play and in a tournament where you're trying to ultimately win a trophy. So we'll continue to take those experiences and build. So far the group's been working extremely hard. So looking forward to our next game.
And for me, obviously I'm hoping to get minutes. I think every player here is fighting for a chance to play, and it's going to be a good game, a tough game, and we're not taking any opponent lightly. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm in training, working hard, trying to earn a spot and the right to play, just like everybody else on this roster. So, hopefully it's in the coach's hand, but I'm going to do everything I can to put myself in the best position to help the team win in the end.
Again, if you'd like to ask a question, you can virtually raise your hand, and we'll continue with Ryan Talmadge from Goal.com.
Thank you, Michael. This one's for Sean. Just following up on that Gold Cup experience bit. Obviously, the Gold Cup's a unique thing where you look at, the last game against Jamaica, where you're going against guys who are playing in the Premier League every week, to going into this game where it's sort of a different caliber of team. How do you kind of handle things when you're going from game to game against such different opponents, and how do you kind of keep some of the young guys and get them ready for a moment like this, which is obviously a little bit different than what that opening game was?
Yeah, I think, obviously every opponent's different, but what is the same about every opponent here is everybody's earned the right to be here. Everybody's earned the right to be in this competition, so we respect each opponent equally, and our preparation remains the same. I think it's important to have the right mentality, and like I said, this group is one where we focus on the task at hand. So it's each and every single day, our preparation, getting better, and then ultimately it's the next match and what we have to do to continue achieving our goal, and ultimately that's advancing out of the group. We're staying locked on that mission first and foremost, and then we'll take it one day at a time.
Next will be Jonathan Tannenwald from the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Thank you, Michael. Hi, gentlemen. Gianluca, this is for you. How are things at Venezia these days? We've all followed your story from afar from a while, and a few of us obviously over here in the media know some of the Americans who were involved in the club for a time, and things have gone up and down and seem to be sort of going on the back up a little bit here. So how's it been for you?
Yeah, like you said, it's been up and down. Obviously, I think this season we didn't start as well as we liked, and not the best start, but in the end we fought back and we made it playoffs in the end, and that was our goal from the start. So it was a good season, a tough season, and I think we learned a lot. But for me, things are going well. Obviously, I wasn't playing as much at the end there, but that's how it is. It's not always going to be easy to get minutes. So for me, I've enjoyed it. I love living there, and the team is getting better, and you can tell we're all growing as a group, and I've enjoyed every moment of it, even the tough parts like the start of this season, and I'm looking forward to going back and trying to get back to the Serie A eventually. That's our goal, and that's what we've been fighting for ever since we got relegated. But yeah, like you said, it has its ups and downs, and this season last season really showed how however you start, you have to finish better, and that's what we did in the end, and we can build off that and hopefully move forward.
I was going to say, for those of us who don't get to live there, how's the life?
It's very different than America, I would say. I think Venice is a beautiful city, and I'm 10 minutes from there, so whenever I'm bored, I can drive in the city and have good food and ride a boat and everything. So it's definitely a different lifestyle, but I've enjoyed every moment of it.
We'll go to Brian Sciaretta from American Soccer Now.
Thank you, Michael. Gianluca, discuss the style of play in Serie B and what you've been able to kind of take from this past season. I know it's compare it with MLS or Serie A. It's just people talk about what a dogfight sometimes these second divisions really are. But I was wondering if you could put it in your own words, like what it's like and the intensity and everything else of playing at that level.
Yeah, I think you said it really. It's a dogfight. Every game it's a dogfight. They're playing for their lives out there, and I think it shows more in the second division than even in the first division. You can tell that guys are trying to fight for promotion and also trying to stay in the division. It's a really competitive league, and I think individuals aren't going to win you the league. It's going to be whoever has the best team, whoever plays as a group is gonna win. And I think that shows every game. If it's the best team in the league or the worst team in the league, it's always going to be a fight. And there's no clear game. There's no easy win. It's always a battle. And for me, I'm learning about that also. It's hard. It's hard to show individual quality if you don't have a good group together. So for me, the team aspect of it and the competitiveness is what really stands out in the league. And once you get that, then the individual quality will show. But the first and the minimum is, do you have the team that will fight every day, every week, and obviously try to get a result. But it's a battle every single game.
Our next question comes from Jonathan All.
Question for both of you. Do you have any impressions of St. Louis at all? Especially this town's had a huge resurgence in soccer with the MLS team coming, but do you have any impressions of St. Louis and how it fits into America's soccer culture?
Yeah, I can speak on that. Just being in the league week in and week out. Haven't played in the stadium myself, but just speaking to players who have played in the stadium, players that play here in St. Louis. It's just incredible to hear how unbelievable the atmosphere is, how energetic it is. Obviously, the team's gotten off to a great start, so it seems like things are really really thriving here in the city. Obviously, we just got here yesterday, and looking forward to the atmosphere in the stadium come Wednesday. But I've only heard good things, so it's exciting to see the franchise have success, especially early on. It's definitely a sight to see, having been in the league for many years.
Yeah, I would say the same. I can only really say what I've seen on TV. I've obviously stay in touch with the MLS and watch a lot of games. And I've watched a couple of St. Louis games, and the atmosphere, like you said, has always been amazing. The stadium looks great, and the pitch, the fans, it looks amazing, and it looks like a lot of fun to play in, and I'm looking forward to it. And obviously I grew up in Kansas and played there, so I know the culture kind of in the Midwest is very big on soccer, actually. So I wasn't really surprised with how good the turnout is for St. Louis, and I'm just looking forward to playing there and experiencing it.
We'll take two more questions, and we'll go back to Brian Sciaretta.
Thank you, Michael, for the second question. Gianluca, quick question. You're one of the players who's eligible for the Olympics, age eligible for the Olympic team in this team. How much does that tournament motivate you, and how much is that kind of on your goals heading into the next year? With the US U23 team getting up and running, and is that something that you have on your front burner? Is that a priority for you to make that team?
Yes, obviously. I think that's it's been a goal of mine since I've watched the Olympics. Really, I think that's a dream of a lot of players, and the fact that I'm age eligible to play in it is even more motivation for me to try to make that team. And I think we have a lot of good young players who are eligible, so I know it's going to be tough, and I know I have to prove myself to make that roster. But I think I set that goal out for myself as soon as I heard about it. So it's something that I'm playing towards, and it gives me extra motivation. And I'm focused on the Gold Cup now, but I know that a good Gold Cup can help me push myself towards the one step closer to the Olympic roster. And that's what I'm fighting for, and I think it's a dream for a lot of players, especially American players, to play in the Olympics and compete against the best in the world and just be in that atmosphere. So yeah, it's definitely something that I'm working towards, and hopefully in the end I can get there.
Last question comes from Andrew Jones.
Thank you, Michael. Just a question for both. First for you, Gianluca, just your experience so far with BJ Callahan being manager, just your whole relationship with him. and your time with the national team while he's been assistant, and how he contrasts with Paolo Vanoli in terms of your manager at Venezia. And Sean, just want to ask you, because fortunately Bob Bradley and Toronto FC parting ways today towards that. It's rare that happens during the national team camp. But not only your thoughts on that, but how you find living in Toronto compared to living in New York from your time in NYCFC. Thank you.
Yeah, for me, I think I've worked with Vanoli a lot longer and day to day with him, so I know more about him. I think he knows me very well and I know him very well, so I think he's a great coach. But I think with BJ, he's been amazing so far. This is my first time having him as a head coach, and it's only been a week or two, but so far it's been all positive. I mean, he motivates all the players, and we all respect him a lot, and we believe in him, and he's been great to me, and obviously he gave me the chance to be here. So I thank him a lot for that, and so far the sessions have been good, and you can tell that he really is motivating us, and wants us to do well, and he has trust in us, and as a player, that's the best when the coach trusts in you. So it's been a great experience so far.
Yeah, obviously, I heard this morning about Bob, and reaction is it's obviously unfortunate. As players, as coaches, you understand the business, and the business is about results. It's very fresh, so I don't have all the details, so it's hard to comment any further. I'm sure the president, Bill Manning, will address the situation and then be able to provide further details after that. But in terms of the city of Toronto, great city, obviously great fan following, tremendous atmosphere every single game. Settled there in my place, so really enjoying the city, and obviously the weather's turned now, so it's there's a lot more to really explore around the city, if you will. So looking forward to that. But obviously the focus now is the task at hand here at the Gold Cup. So looking to put every bit of energy I have into contributing to the group and the success of the group, and ultimately achieving our goals. And then after to obviously go back into that environment. But for now, the focus is solely on here with the guys and achieving what we set out to do.